Hello student, this is Satish Pandey. Today we shall start about the forms of business organization. Business organizations are various types. Some of them you have seen in your area like sole proprietor, partnership firms. So in the last chapter when we studied about how to start a business, in that we have learned the various steps of business and how to start this business. In that we have studied one more point, that which form of business you want to opt for your business. So this is the elaboration of that point, forms of business organization. In this point we will study about different forms of business organization. Once you decided to start your business and arrange capital and everything, you have to decide forms of business organization. You have studied about the MNC. MNCs are the biggest forms of business organization, and you have seen a simple vegetable seller. It is the smallest forms of business organization, which is known as sole proprietor. He alone manage the capital, he alone do the purchasing, he alone do the marketing, everything is done. But if you think about the biggest one like MNC, multinational company, every work is divided among the different people because it is so big that one person cannot manage it. So there are different types of business organization. There are a unique business organization in our country that is known as a joint Hindu family business. So there are families who are running their business from their ancestor. They are taking over their business and it continue 100, 200, 500 years. So let us start forms of business organization. We have various forms, and in introduction, as you can see here, if you planning to start business organization, you have to choose the various between the various forms of business organization. These various forms are here given. The first one is sole proprietor. Sole proprietor is a form of business in which only one person is running the business and he is responsible for all profit and loss. He manages purchase also, and he enjoy all the profit also. This is sole proprietor. Second form of business which I have discussed just before, joint Hindu family business. In joint Hindu family business, it is the business of whole family. So there is no division of capital or profit between them. Whatever is earned is distributed in the family. All the brothers and fathers are sitting there. There are 3 generations who are running business. Another one is partnership. You already know about the various forms of partnership. Many company in many movie you have seen the 2 person have started business with partnership, then after there is a dispute. So partnership is very simple. It can be 2 partner, 3 partner or 4 partner. There are various type partners you can choose. Another is cooperative society. Cooperative society is a society which run business on the basis of no profit no loss, because its main aim is to provide facilities to its member. Like a milk cooperative society, you have studied you have heard about Parag Milk, which is running in Ramnagar. Its aim is to provide a marketing facility to the farmers of Chandauli and Varanasi who wish to sell their milk. Similarly, Amul company is also belong to the cooperative societies. So cooperative society means this business is started by the members themselves, and it is for the members, by the members, and the benefit is distributed among them. Last one is joint stock company, which is the most modern company. It is a form of company. You have heard about the East India Company, which came in India and then after capture India. So that was also a company. The joint stock company, all the capital are divided into a small unit which can be purchased by anyone who want to become an owner of that company. The percentage of share owned by a company decide that how much ownership he possesses. So these are the various forms of business organization. Joint stock company, most of the big companies you know about are joint stock company like Tata, Birla, Ambani, Reliance Industries, TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Mahindra Company, Birla Cement, and there are many more. All are joint stock company. But if you think about the vegetable sellers, petty sellers, general stores, they most of them are sole proprietor. And there are some cloth merchants, particularly you have seen Marwadi and Punjabi. They are joint into family business. All the families are managing the business, although they are property is not divided among them, and there is no decision that how much profit is taken by one brother and how much profit is taken by another brother. So there are many shops, restaurants, and business which are run by joint into family business. Partnership is also similar, but here the members are not belong to the same family. The members belong to the different family, and it is partnership, and it can be established by anyone. Although joint Hindu family is not established, it comes from ancestral property. One cannot establish joint Hindu family at once. So these are the differences. We are not going to go in detail now, because we have to study it in detail later on, one by one. As you can see here, there is sole proprietor. So in the sole proprietorship, as I told you, it is run by the single person, and owned by the one. So to start a business, sole proprietor is good. You need not to help anyone, you need not to search the partners, and it can be started at the small level also. And there are many shop nearby you, like stationery shop, as here it is given in the example. Stationery stores, general stores, they are generally run by a single person, and sometimes you know their shop by their name. Like you can say that sometimes you say that I am going to the Sunil shop, I am going to Mohan shop, I am going to any name is there, Gupta stores. So they generally run their business with their own name, and they are alone managing all the things of the business, and they are also enjoying the profit or loss of the business, and they are called sole proprietors. It is a popular form of business because it can be found anywhere in your locality also. It is most stable, suitable for small business. You already know small business. These are small business. Various shops are there, recharge shop and various shops. So if you want to define sole proprietor, then there is a definition of sole proprietor. It refers to forms of business organization which is owned, managed and controlled by an individual. Owned, managed and controlled by an individual who is the recipient of all profit. So all profit is received by the same person, but he has to bear all risk also, risk of loss. So this is evident from the terms itself that the word sole means alone. You know what a solo song is there, alone when it is sung. Sole means alone, and proprietor means who running the business, owners. So sole proprietor means single owner who are running the business. So it is called a only owner business, where there is one owner. And this form of business is particularly common in area and everywhere you can found. You have already witnessed such areas from here. There are many person who try to define sole proprietor. You can see here, sole trader is a type of business unit where a person is solely responsible for providing the capital, for bearing the risk of the enterprises and for management of business. Similarly, the individual proprietor is the form of business organization at the head of which stand an individual as one who is responsible, who directs its operation and who alone runs the risk of failures. So these are the some things which you need to understand. Now let us see some of the features. So features of sole proprietor is very important to understand. I have some ideas about the sole proprietors now, so you can understand the features very well now. The first feature is formation and closure. So formation and closure. Formation means start a business and closure means close the business. So in this sole proprietor business, there is no separate law to start business or close business. It totally depends upon the sole proprietor that he can start business whenever he wish, and he can start business whenever he want to. He can close the business whenever he want to. So suppose you want to start a business with the sole proprietor, you can open a shop and keep the things and start selling. Do you need any permission to any law authority? No. If you want to sell vegetable, just purchase vegetable and sell it on your Thela or some other. Similarly, when you don't like and you make losses, you easily close it. So there is no formation and closures formalities, means legal boundaries are there. So it becomes very easy to start and close also. So ultimately we can say that formation and closure is easy in sole proprietorship. Second thing is liabilities of business. So in this there are unlimited liability to the sole proprietor. This point you need to understand properly. Unlimited liabilities. There are two types of liabilities in business organization. One is limited liabilities, another is unlimited liabilities. In unlimited liabilities, if you have taken loan and there are person who want money from you, so if you have limited liability, they can be paid only from the money available in your business. But if there is unlimited liability, then you have to pay you have to meet your all the liabilities by selling your own personal properties also. For example, your house, your TV, your fridge, your AC, everything can be sold if there is a loss. That is called unlimited liabilities. And in limited liabilities, for example, you have seen that Vijay Mallya have made a lot of losses and run away, and Nirav Modi and many others, but they don't have sole proprietors, they have company, so they have limited liabilities. Government cannot do with their personal property unless the government have some extra authority is used. Government can only take their company and the property of company, not their personal property, because in company there is a limited liability, but in sole proprietor there is unlimited liability. I explain it because this is going to be discussed in each forms of business. So I hope you understand unlimited liabilities. This implies that the owner is personally responsible for the payment. He is personally responsible. His company is not responsible only. He also personally responsible for the payment of all the debts which he has taken from the bank or person or other businessman. So in case the asset of the business are not sufficient, if the asset of the business is not sufficient to meet all the debts, personal responsibility is there. He has to pay the debt. If your shop is unable to pay, even if you sell your shop and everything of your shop, you are unable to pay the debt, there is a debt on you. You have to pay it later on. But if you have a company, then your company have to pay the debt. Your personal property will not be touched. But in sole proprietor, even your son's bike can be taken, your wife's ornaments can be taken to pay. So it is your personal responsibility now in sole proprietor. Such owner's personal possessions such as her personal car and other assets could be sold for repaying the debt. There is one example given. There is a XYZ dry cleaner, a sole proprietor of firm, are rupees 8,000 at a time of dissolution, but its assets are 60,000. So 80,000 is required for dissolution. Dissolution means closing the company and paying all the debt. So he has only 60,000 assets in his company. In such situation, the proprietor will have to bring rupees 20,000 from her personal source, even if she has not sell. So from his her personal property to repay the firm's debt. So he has to manage to 20,000 again. Now see the another risk. Uh, he is the sole risk bearer and he is sole profit recipient also. So risk is also bear by the sole proprietor and profit is also enjoyed by the sole proprietor alone, because he is the only person who are running the business. So no one is going to share, such as partnership and joint to the family or other type of business where the risk is also share and profit is also share. So failure and success of sole proprietor is totally responsibility of the person who are running the business. Now next, let us see, it is very easy, you can understand. Next one is control. So if there is one person running the business, who will control the business? Obviously he will control the business. So right to run the business and make decision, run the business and make all decision, all depend upon sole proprietor. He take all the decision of the firm and he run the business. Now next one is also technical word one, which you need to understand. No separate entity. So as I told you that in case of company you have to you need not to pay the debt from your personal property, but in case of sole proprietor you have to pay from your personal property, because company is a separate entity from the person who are running the company. But sole proprietor, business and the person are not separate entity. We consider both of them same. As I told you in the beginning, Sunil Sweets and Gupta Store, you know that its name is also depend upon the person's name. We are not making distinguishing business firm and the person who are running this firm. Both are same, their responsibility are same, and they have unlimited liability. So there is no separate entity in sole proprietors. In the eyes of law, no distinction is made between the sole traders and his business. So business and traders are same. If the business make losses, this means person makes losses, and personal property can be taken to pay it, and his responsibility is also there. If the company have done something illegal, the person will be punished. If the shopkeeper have not paid GST or taxes, the person will be punished. Although in the company, finance person, manager will be punished only, not all the person who are owners. Or CEO or board of director may be punished, but not the owner in company. Next one is lack of business continuity. If you have sole proprietary shop and you die, now business is over because you are alone. And but in case of joint into family, if the father dies, son will run the business. Here in sole proprietor, because people know the person who are running the business. If he die, if his any family member want to start the same business, he has to start in separate his own name now, because earlier all the responsibility and other things are owned and managed by the one person. It is controlled by one person. So in case of death, insanity, imprisonment, physical ailment, bankruptcy, of the sole proprietor, the business will end. Death, you already know, if the death of the sole proprietor is there, his business is over now. Similarly, insanity, if he become mad or some partially mentally disordered, he cannot run the business and the business is over now. There is no continuity in business because it is run by a single person. Imprisonment, he has done something illegal and there is an imprisonment. Physical ailment, some accident happened and he lost his some organs which is important to run the business, then only the business will stop. And bankruptcy, he make a lot of debt, unable to repay the debt, then bank will capture all his assets. So these are the various things which will force the business to stop and the business is over. These all causes closures of the business. So these are the various features of sole proprietors which we have discussed. So with the help of this feature, I hope you able to understand